First, thank you to my Commander-in-Chief. I would like to greet the first combatant. We saw her arriving to the jail of Juarez to defend those who were in the jail of dignity with the military insurgents that was facing the North American imperialism, who was the one ruling this country at the time. I would like to greet all the comrades, officials, soldiers of February the 4th. Many things have said about the February the 4th, about the Operation Ezequiel Zamora. Many things have been said. But the human things are very important. The farewell to each one of the officials from their wives and their kids. I have to say, as testimony of history, as an act of bravery, that back there, that day, our comrade, brother, Diosdado Cabello, said farewell from his wife and his newly born child. So he was in pain and maybe doubtful, but his wife told him, go and fulfill your mission and defend the homeland. And today they are here facing you, fighting and giving example to the whole world. It's a dignity, it's an example of dignity and struggle. I would like to say to this youth that did not meet us on February the 4th, that was not born yet in February the 4th. It's a personal example that maybe is not the best, because one you should not introduce as an example. But that day I was assigned to take the Carlota with 143 parachute men, over 1,200 soldiers defending the Carlota, and we made it. And I always tell the youth, you know why? You know why we did it? This military operation, those young men and women in February the 4th, because we were young. Because young people have no limits. Young people dream with the future of the homeland. Your youth of the homeland, you are the future of this revolution, of Chavez revolution, that today keeps the people free, independent, and sovereign. Thanks to the people of Venezuela, we continue resistance. Do not make mistakes. This continues to be a socialist, humanist revolution to defend the integrity and the sovereignty that were left by Bolivar and Chavez. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief. Count on this humble soldier, on this brave soldier, to defend this revolution in the ground and in the place, whatever it needs to. Thank you, people of Venezuela. Thank you, Captain. Captain Governor, for the vote of the people in peace. How much history we have lived. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. How much bravery proved, how much resistance. Truly, from Venezuela, we give an example. This is the people that have surprised the world, and we continue to surprise the world. Because now is that we have revolution for a long time, and Venezuela for the world. Bolivarian revolution, Christian, socialist, revolution for the 21st century. Because talking about February the 4th is talking about resistance. It's talking about rebirth. It's talking about revolution. It's to talk about the past that is present, because we're here. And it's to talk about present, the present there will be a certain future of recovery, of prosperity, of well-being for the people. We've had tough years, and we're still having tough years. But only a people aware of their role can face what the people of Venezuela has faced in these years of aggression, of not unlimited aggression by the North American imperialism. And it has forged a union, a wonderful union, the civic-military unit of the Bolivarian Revolution. I would like to, a captain, on February 1992, captain of the army, that later will make it to General-in-Chief. I would like to, in behalf of our national armed forces, to provide a reflection of union, of future, and of growth and power, of civic-military union in our people. This guy, General-in-Chief. So let's greet him in their civic-military union. Thank you very much, my Commander-in-Chief. A solidary hug, an affectionate hug, loving hug of admiration to the whole people of Venezuela. Today, when we celebrate, because we have to celebrate, we have to remember that February the 4th of 1992. Yesterday, I was reflecting all the original fighters of the February the 4th, sharing with them, because at the end we are the same. We represent the same. I was next to them fighting a few days ago, but at dawn, when the command voices were heard and the roar of vehicles, the noise of guns on the streets of Caracas and some areas of Venezuela, I cannot deny, 30 years later, that this heart started applauding that historic fact led by our historical Hugo Chávez, Commander of Dignity. And I say, with the same optic as my brother Gerardo Marquez, not placing myself as an example, but placing myself as a projection of everything the military youth by them felt. And I am certain that it was also the feeling of the people of Venezuela. Maybe it had to be in silence. But it was heating up the flame of Hugo Chávez that awoke in every soldier, in every person of Venezuela. So we come today from a march, my Commander-in-Chief, and I could see generals, admirals of our Bolivarian armed forces walking the streets with the people. It might be a normal thing 30 years from the February the 2nd, the 4th. But we have walked a long road, representatives of the international community, the long road full of rocks, obstacles, to be able to see a general, an admiral from the armed forces to walk next to a woman, to a child, to an elder, in perfect civic-military union. It could be a normal. but it's been 30 years. Maybe not for a historical cycle, but we're talking about a generation. A generation, as you said, that young that are 20 years today did not know. Did not know, did not see, did not hear in life the tremendous shout of our Supreme Commander Hugo Chávez that February the 4th. Today, the road is open. Nevermore. It will be necessary, I tell the world. Nevermore. It will be necessary, and I tell the people of Venezuela. Nevermore. And I tell the patriot soldiers of the armed forces of the Bolivarian country. We will raise our weapons again in insurgents to recover the rights of the people. Nevermore will be necessary as long as we continue the road of dignity, of Bolivarianism, of sovereignty and independence. Nevermore will be necessary as we continue with the historic road that Commander Hugo Chávez invited us to create in his spirit, in his revolutionary conscience. Nevermore will be necessary as long as we walk the roads of Sucre, Miranda, Zamora. So, dear brothers, colleagues, we have an open road for prosperity, for peace within the framework of the Constitution, and we have the open road for continuing fighting in the military and civic union like our people deserves. Its national dignity, its sovereignty, and besides that, the necessity and the right to live in peace, living with the rest of the world in solidarity, and also building our own democracy, our own democratic participative model. So we'll not have anymore the neoliberal contraband of democracy. So we have proven that through the popular rebellions and regular military rebellions, we have proven in these 20 years that through the way of the vote, this people is determined to be free, independent, worthy, and following his history. Dear brothers and sisters, dear military youth, the military civic union, we're going to victory, we're going to combat to national dignity, to our independence, till victory forever. Dear brothers and sisters, thank you very much. Loyal always. Two goals had this Bolivarian rebellion. One, to bury 2 centuries of treason, and 2, to open the gates of Venezuela towards a new independence. Times of glory we have lived, and from a learning and a unique consciousness. On February the 4th, Bolivar was reborn in the same epicenter, the bicentennial time. This bicentennial time leads us to 2030. We have great tasks ahead to armor the peace of the homeland. We have great tasks ahead to armor the democracy and the Constitution from the imperialist conspiracies. Great tasks we have ahead to consolidate the economic growth and the construction of a new economic prosperity from Venezuela with our efforts. A new economic prosperity that will not fall from the sky, even though we have the blessing of God, Father, Lord, Creator of heavens and land, and our Lord Jesus Christ, that bathed with his sacred blood to our people. A prosperity that will be a result of resistance and the created work of the people of Venezuela. We already had the first year of economic growth. And from here to 2030, we're going to have a decade of growth, of recovery, of a new prosperity, of a new economy, oil economy. That's what I'm saying, and that's how we're going to do it.